Hey y'all, it's Carolyn from Noteworthy 757. Um, I'm sitting in my car because I was on my way to my friend's house and she canceled on me. So I just pulled over to just enjoy the day. It's beautiful outside, so um, I just wanted to get a few things off my chest. I was gonna make the video tomorrow, but I want to go ahead and take this time to. I jotted down some things and I wanted to say regarding this Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. For those of you who missed it, it was a 6-part docuseries. 2 parts ran each night for the last 3 nights. It was on Lifetime. The producer name is Dream Hampton, and she interviewed survivors from R. Kelly's sexual abuse. Survivors or people who were related to him in some way, whether they were on his staff, whether they were family members, whoever she could get to participate in this docuseries, this event. First thing I want to make perfectly clear is that it is not okay to take your daughters around R. Kelly going forward. Can we all agree on that right now, please? Okay. I don't want to jump too far ahead of myself, but there were a couple of parents on this docuseries who said, you know, well, we heard something happened, but when he went to trial, he was found not guilty and da-da-da-da. And we thought it was long as we were there, long as we were present. You know, it seemed to be a common theme because Sparkle said the same thing. Well, as long as I'm there with her, or I'm going to be present with her, that is okay. But he was so manipulative that he found ways around that. It was like he appeased you for that moment and said, okay, yeah, you can be around me today, but I'm plotting how to get her back without you. You know, so parents, whoever, under the sound of my voice, going forward, if you decide to go to an R. Kelly concert, it's within your right to do so. However, it is not okay to have your daughter around R. Kelly. There is nothing to be trusted about him. Okay, going forward, we should not hear any more stories going forward from 2019 that I was kidnapped, that I was sexually molested or whatever by R. Kelly at 14, 15, 16 and the year 2019. No more girls should come forward with that story. So, I have a couple points that I want to say. So, I want to kind of focus more on the mind of the sexual abuser, because I feel like that is the conversation we should be leaning more toward, because R. Kelly is a representation of what's happening in the community. Okay, there are uncles who have been doing this for years. There are neighbors who have been doing it. There are school teachers. There are predators everywhere that have been preying on our daughters for years. So we need to be observant to the signs of these predators, what they do. I believe this is the veil being exposed to educate us, to show us, here it is. This is what they do. Here's the common theme. Be on the lookout for this. We have to pay attention to that. So going back to R. Kelly being sexually abused as a child, he had no intervention. He had no therapy. The teacher kind of suspected something was happening due to the magnitude of what he sang in his songs when he was in school. And she didn't press to get him help. She didn't suggest. She didn't call CPS. She didn't go to the home or anything like that. She didn't. And it always almost translate to morphing into a predator. So I say morphing because it brings me to my next point of separating the man from the music. That has been a big top of the conversation also. I hate what he did, but I'm still going to listen to his music. Okay. The music came from the essence of him, the center of his soul, which is damaged. You can't separate the man from the music. That is the damaged part of him from which he projects the emotion. It's all him. So, according to his brother, Kerry, Carrie did an interview with Tasha K. If y'all watch Unwind with Tasha K on YouTube, shout out to Tasha K, because Tasha K been dropping that real bomb, clean, 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 real wine, as she call it. She been dropping that jank for a minute now. I just found out about her like later toward the end of last year, and I watch her. I don't watch everything that she puts out, but the things that interest me, I do follow her. And at the time, even when she interviewed him, I really wasn't like, I don't know if I can really believe this. Like, when she talked to Jerronda Pace and she talked to Carrie Kelly, I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. You know, but when you see all the facts lined up together, it's like, oh, snap. Okay, here's his brother giving an account. So his brother says that it was the sister Teresa who molested both of them. Now, okay, Teresa was not on this documentary. The mom has passed. Seems like to me, the sister would be on record to defend her brother. Now, Carrie goes on to also say that the sister donated to the church. The sister, I'm sorry, that R. Kelly donated to his sister's church. He's bought her houses over the years. Like, somebody who's that good to you, you're going to come out and at least defend them if you're not going to accuse them and stand up for what's right. Sister is silent. Carrie also said that the sister moved to Aurora, which is about an hour away from Chicago, to get away from maybe the memories of the childhood. So Carrie Kelly, which is one of the brothers, so it was 4 of them. It was, if I get it correctly, either Teresa or Bruce were the older one. I think Bruce was the oldest, and then Teresa, and then R. Kelly, and then Carrie. So Carrie says, let me show y'all this pattern that I picked up from what Carrie said and the relationship between the documentary, the series. Carrie says, number 1, Teresa would separate Robert and Carrie. Now, Bruce was older or old enough that he can do what he want to do. He won't listen to Teresa. So after school, he going out to play. Teresa will always let either Robert go with Bruce or Carrie go with Bruce, never at the same time. So the correlation to that is he isolated the girls in individual rooms and would not allow them access to talk to each other. Here's a pattern. Let me get the pattern for you. Number 2, Carrie said the reason they had to stay in the house is she will always find something that they did wrong. Either they talked bad, they didn't do what she said, whatever. And that relates to what the survivors say also, because he was angry. They said that he was angry at them for something they did. You know, abusers always place the fault or the blame on the abuse. Never anything that he did. It was always something they did that warranted him slapping them, cussing at them, not feeding them, taking away privileges, all of that. So Carrie told Tasha K that his sister Teresa called him when she found out that Carrie's son had been shot. And he took that opportunity to confront Teresa. They hadn't talked since the mother's funeral. I don't know what the time frame between the mother's funeral and Carrie's son being shot. But when she saw it on the news, she called the hospital and they gave the phone to Carrie. And she just wanted to say, I'm sorry, I'm praying. I saw on the news what happened to nephew. Is he okay? What's going on? And I guess Carrie indulged her questions. And then he said, Teresa, you know, let me tell you, I forgive you. I forgive you for what you did to me. And he said she became very upset and I don't know what you're talking about and don't call me anymore. Don't talk to me anymore. All of this stuff. So he basically, even every time, it was same thing with R. Kelly. Here's a relationship toward that. Every time he had been presented with evidence against him, what did he do? If y'all saw the documentary, remember when the lady from the radio, it was a white lady with brown hair, dark hair, I think it was Sirius or Pandora, one of them. When she started to interrogate him and ask him questions, he got very defensive. Oh, no, this interview over. He taking off microphones and stuff. I'm getting out of here. Da, da, da. That's what happens. So he had been recently with his tour. I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes, y'all. I'm telling y'all. his tours were being canceled. He was losing streams. Spotify decided to drop him from their like regularly playlists and stuff like that. So he took to social media to deny claims. He went on his own social media and, you know, just said the media is lying. That's not true. We need to stick together. We all need to support each other. We need to stand to each other. All of that. So like Drea said, his wife, ex-wife, he has never taken public accountability. And a lot of girls said, I don't think he's capable of, I don't think it clicks for him that that's something that he needs to be accountable for. So let me try to minimize that back there. Okay, so that was a common theme from the woman, that he's not able or he's not capable of accepting fault. So that continues to empower this complex that he has now developed, that he is invincible and he's untouchable. Now, according to Jerhonda Pace, okay, Jerhonda Pace was she was a 14-year-old girl. She went to the trial in Chicago. She would go stand out. It was a public trial. It was an open trial. She would go stand out and support him. She was a fan at the time. And R. Kelly lured her into this situation, his harem, sex cult, whatever you want to call it. And she is telling her story now of what happened. So Jerhonda Pace, she says she believes R. Kelly is gay because he treats women like sex objects while he takes delight in being around men. So this is my opinion. This is where I think that he may have split personality. When his sister was molesting him, his brother says he feels like Rob enjoyed the sexual abuse, or at least convinced himself that he enjoyed it. R. Kelly himself was recorded saying I think it was an interview with Ed Gordon. He said it awakened some feelings early in him that shouldn't have been. That's why I think the girls see R. Kelly and they see Robert. Robert is that sexually confused little boy who was violated and never taught about a healthy sexual lifestyle. R. Kelly is the fun-loving, spiritual, lovable guy. His sexual deviances are a result from unresolved sexual trauma. When children don't have the attention and care to properly share their feelings, they are misinformed and become confused. This is why I think we should let our children express themselves. Now, there's a line between expressing yourself and being disrespectful or an inappropriate conversation. But if you're a parent and you have to teach your children right from wrong, what's healthy and not healthy, what's good and bad, it's going to be some things, parents, that you have to listen to that are not easy to listen to. But you have to let your children tell you, because if they don't tell you, they're going to tell it to the people in the street. And the people in the street, if they're nasty, they're going to let them experiment with them. They're not going to protect them. They're not going to say, no, that's not right. No, that's going to cause you to have problem. No, that's not how you treat a woman. You don't disrespect a woman. You love a woman. And even for women, I had a conversation with a guy today. He said, he's about 27. He said, I was watching his live and his IG live, and I sent him a DM because he was right what he said. He said, I be in the club sometimes and girls will walk by and rub their hands across my privates or touch my butt and stuff. And he like, I feel like that's inappropriate, because what if I was standing next to my lady? That's very inappropriate. And he was like, but as a man, we're taught that, oh, you got to chuck it up. Yeah, I'm a man. Yeah, that'll feel good. I like when you do that. No, ladies, that's disrespectful. That's not appropriate. The same way we don't want a man groping on us, we're not supposed to be groping on men. I remember right after high school, I was dating this guy and we were play fighting, and I thought it was so cute, and I was bragging because I finally had a story to tell of me and my boyfriend, and I was telling him, I said, yeah, and I pushed him and he pushed me, and my aunt said, hold up, let me stop you right there. She said, don't you ever put your hands on nobody, and don't you ever let nobody put their hands on you. And let me tell y'all, to this day, that rings in my ears. She said, because one day it's not going to be playing. And I was like, wow. Even I was 17, 18 at the time. What if I had let that pattern continue? I could be in an abusive relationship. I could have gone from abusive relationship to abuse. Now I look out for that. Don't play with me. Don't play touch. Don't play grab. Don't play nothing. No, you want to play? Go in a boxing ring. Don't do it with me. I'm not the one. I don't have on gloves. I don't do that. Okay? So I think it doesn't give the children the offset they need to say this is not normal. Children need guidance. They need leadership. They need structure. Children need to be taught. You have to teach what's right and what's wrong. And unfortunately, a lot of times, children get their learning from social media. And they get it from music, whatever's in the music. I saw a very disturbing video that I didn't even know existed of Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne was talking about he lost his virginity at 11. And he said, allegedly, I wasn't there. He said in this video that it was because of Baby. Baby told the girls that was hanging around, the groupies, to give fellatio to Lil Wayne. And that's how he got inclement, you know, I don't know the right word. It's not coming out right now. But that's how he got introduced to sex. You know, he said, I had Regine at 15. You know, so he was already, and he said, I loved it. I loved it. But people were saying, you know, they feel like that's a lie. He didn't. But that's how guys are groomed. If you don't like it, then you're gay and something's wrong. And that's not true. You don't like it because it was inappropriate. It wasn't welcome. It's not with a person. Sex should be an exchange between two people who love each other. And not just two people who are sexually confused and get together. And unfortunately, that's what's going on in our society. You got two people who are sexually confused about who they are, number one, and about what is healthy and what is unacceptable in a sexual relationship. And they come together and it's a mess. So I think that the reason we have a hard time accepting R. Kelly is because it holds us accountable as well. It holds a mirror to us and it challenges our moral ethics. And we have become comfortable with our own mistakes and shortcomings. You know how you hear people say, I can't say nothing because I done it too, and I don't want to be a hypocrite. Well, if you've done it and you've accepted accountability and you've changed your action, then hell yeah, you could talk about it. And you could call it out and say it's not right. Because you have reformed from that. You could say, I used to do that, and I thought it was cool. It's not cool to do that. Listen to me. I'm telling you from experience. You know, but some people get quiet on that, and they say, well, I can't say nothing. I used to do it too. And that's what it seems like our culture is starting to do. It's like, oh, well, I can't say nothing because I used to do it too. So another thing I want to say is that as I started thinking, I was like, you know, okay, he married to Drea. I can't remember the dates. I looked at it briefly. I think they divorced in 2009. I don't remember how long they were married, but it seemed like from 2009 to 2018. Can anybody put in the comments, please, if R. Kelly has been reported dating another celebrity? I could not remember. I tried to think back. I tried to Google it, and I was like, there has never been any red carpet, any, you know, gossip about R. Kelly dating a woman his age. I thought that was striking. I thought that was like, wow. So, something else that came across my mind. Why did he pick regular girls off the street? Why didn't he want to date somebody? You know, most of the time, celebrities say they want to date somebody that has money or has just as much to lose as them for that purpose because they don't want somebody to extort them. It never seemed like he worried about being extorted. Well, okay, let me take that back. He did worry about it because he did have them to write falsified documents saying that they did all this stuff to him. Geronda Pace, she said that she wrote a letter saying, please forgive me, I stole money, I did this, and she had never done any of those things. So it was like he kind of had an insurance policy. But what I'm saying is, if he had dated somebody like a Mary J. Blige, somebody like Lil Kim, they're in the industry too. They constantly had spotlights on them. That's what I'm saying. He dated these everyday round the way girls because there's no spotlight on them. It makes me think of something I watched in the Hidden Colors movie. They were by Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. I'm waiting on that Hidden Colors 5. I think it's 5 now. But in Hidden Colors, they talked about white celebrities adopting children from Africa. And they said the reason they do it, because you got kids right here in America. Why don't you go down the street and adopt some kids? You got to go all the way to a third world country to adopt some children. They say the reason they do that is because the paperwork gets lost in the travel of overseas. They said within, I think, if I'm quote me, I might not be correct, but within 6 months, all contact has been lost. The agency overseas don't even know if the child is living or not. And I feel like that's why he preyed upon Around the Way girls, because there's no spotlight. They had no voice. Remember, R. Kelly comes from the time of no social media. He can't read. If he can't read and write, he probably doesn't keep up with technology, because technology is changing all the time. So he's probably relying on people around him to keep him abreast and keep him informed of what's going on. Which brings me to the next point. The next point that he did, the staff around him, they lied. They said they lied about what was going on in the media. The media was rumbling about, the sex tape and him being married to Aaliyah and all of this stuff, having a sex court and all that. And because he couldn't read or write, I guess he didn't listen to the radio or maybe watch the news. He didn't know. He trusted what they said. So in his mind, he thinking, don't nobody know I'm hiding. And they lying to him. Oh, Jesus have mercy. This was very heavy. This was very, watching this, I wish they had put it on like during the day, because I don't like going to sleep with all that heaviness in my spirit at night. I had to pray like, God, please touch my mind, touch my soul. Don't let this stuff get into my spirit. This is dark. This is evil. This is demonic. What's going on? So in hindsight, it just makes you look at so many things. Like, I grew up listening to R. Kelly music. I'm a 90s kid. I was born in late 77, so I grew up in the 80s and 90s. And like I said in my IG Live, I remember when Vibe came out. I remember as he grew and all this success. I'm probably part of the reason for his success. I loved his music. I grew up listening to his music. We supported his albums. I've been to one R. Kelly concert. In 2012, I think I went to the concert. And I was thinking about when Trapped in the Closet came out. It's like everything he does is kind of weird, but we love it. When Trapped in the Closet came out, we was like, what the fuck? But then it was a hit. It was a phenomenon. And I feel like as I thought about it, I said, maybe Trapped in the Closet was part of him trying to confess. It was a way to him get it off his chest without confessing to the truth. Because I believe that some of that, trapped in the closet, they trapped in rooms. And his sexual escapades are going around. Now, some of it, of course, he did add, he fantasized about, or he embellished to make a complete story, but I think it was an attempt for him to confess. So one more thing I want to talk about is like, speaking of the women being in the room, trapped in the room, all the girls said that when they left, when they finally decided to leave, it didn't really seem like it was a lot of resistance for them to leave. And I don't want to make light of the story, but I mean, y'all remember the Tina Turner movie, okay? Tina waited till Ike went to sleep. She got up in the middle of the night like she was going to the bathroom. She had packed up the kids, called her mama, got on the bus. It was like an escape. These girls made it just seem like, well, I just packed my bags and left. Like, although they were held in rooms like hostages, they got out like he didn't. I don't know. Is it making sense? Am I making it? Is it making sense, y'all? Please, somebody comment and tell me. Did you think that? What did you think from that? What did you get from that? To me, like I think it was the Carrie's mom and dad who stepped out and said, my daughter has Stockholm Syndrome. Now, I'm a bit Law and Order SVU fan. SVU is pretty much the only one that I watch. I don't like CSI and all that other stuff. I like Law and Order SVU. And every person, every captive who was held, by the time Olivia and the detectives got there to free them, they couldn't leave. They could not leave. They were bound to their abuser. Now, whether it was because they were really that fearful of their life, or whether it was they couldn't imagine life without them. You know, they kept saying, the psychologist, I'm glad they had the criminal justice person being on the show, docuseries, and they had psychologists up there, and they said, you know, it takes a person who's being abused, a domestic abuser, domestic violence person, at least 6 or 7 times to leave. The first time they say, this is it, I'm done, I can't, and they end up going back. You know, and I want to mention that also, if you saw the part with the mother who went to get her daughter and her daughter actually left with her, the daughter went back to R. Kelly. Now, granted, she did come back with the mother, and as far as we know, she is with the mother now. But even at all that, she still went back to him. You know, so it is so the mind is so powerful. You know, that's why we have to train our mind to what is right, to what is healthy, to what is prosperous, to what is good for us. And we can't get inundated by this negative, nasty stuff, because it can really, really, really mess your mind up. Now, you know, I just started thinking of some of the names, the titles of his song. And, you know, I was like, this is too real. It hit too close to home. It's just like, boom. It hit us in our chest because he didn't grow up, or he didn't gain fame in the era of social media like it is today. I think he was able to get away with so much stuff because we weren't able to keep tabs on him. Today, you know, people going live. TMZ is on your ass wherever you go. They at the airport. They snapping shots across the island where you vacationing. Like, TMZ got you. You can't go nowhere. Okay. And as soon as we make stuff viral, stuff is gone. You know, it's all over the place. He didn't come from that era. He was able to hide in the crevices. You know, and I think that's why now it's being exposed on such a large scale for him. I really, in my heart, believe that R. Kelly wants help. I do. I believe he wants help. I believe he hates himself. I believe that's why he does this to women, because it's the reflected hate that he really wants to put on himself. But he's R. Kelly. He's built up this alter ego of R. Kelly now. And so he can't make himself accountable, because what's going to happen to what he's built? It's going to all crumble and tarnish. So I think our eyes are wide open now. We see what's really going on. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if this documentary is enough for... Well, they did say that the FBI was investigating him. So allegedly. So we'll just have to stay tuned and watch and see what's going on. Thank y'all for following me. Again, I'm sorry, I'm in the car. I just want to get this stuff on my chest because I don't want to be thinking about this all day. I want to be done with this. So I appreciate y'all. Please drop down in the comments. Please tell your friends. Let's have this discussion. Talk to your daughters. Talk to your sons. See what's going on in their life. I know you're tired when you come home from work, but you got to spend that 30, 45 minutes just picking your kid brain. Who are you talking to at school? Well, who is that? How are they treating you? And no, you don't let nobody disrespect you and talk to you like that. You tell your children. All right. Thank y'all. Till next time. Good night.